Okay, so if you followed the Linda and Cole band, which now is the Cole and Linda Filmmaker Band, we did do a song. I'm gonna have to cut here pretty soon because I'm having a difficulty. It's technical. We did a song called the Zodiac Killer, which I'm doing a rendition of that called I Am the Zodiac. I kind of like I Am the Zodiac better rather than Zodiac Killer because it's anyone could be a Zodiac because it's just a sign. But the idea behind the song is very clever because with me, if you know anything about me and my songwriting career, lyrics, I have a lot of lyrics. You follow my 600 songs on SoundCloud, which most are in Berlin, but my Drupal, tons of lyrics. And I'm a big fan of Sun Kil Moon and their song, Richard Ramirez Died of Natural Causes, one of my favorite songs. But anyway, it's in the heart of that. And here is some information about the Zodiac Killer. So I wanted to say, like, how can I simplify lyrics, or what can I do with lyrics? This is kind of a lyric-based song. It does have an intro. Some of my songs don't have intro, but this one does. So I thought to myself, I wonder if I could find lyrics that are already written that are maybe like public domain or something. So I thought about, I'll just use Wikipedia, the Zodiac Killer thing, which is this, from Wikipedia, as the lyrics. I did add some of my own lyrics in it. But first, let's talk about the intro. So you always want a really good intro in the song. I thought, what can I have a good intro for, like a rock and roll song or alternative rock or indie rock song, and what can I do to make it interesting? Especially for the Zodiac Killer or I Am the Zodiac. I thought, oh yeah, the Zodiac had a target. So you've ever seen photos of the Zodiac, you'll know that there's a sign. I'm looking through here that represent him. You can see it right here. There. See it? So I thought, well, why don't I just do that on the guitar and see what it sounds like? So I did. This is what it sounds like for the intro. That's the intro. So in the intro, if you want to learn it, because it's a #1 hit, or it may not be a #1 hit, but it's a known song now. Going into this minor chord. Interesting. Now, I got the idea from David Bowie because in the interview, David Bowie did not claim to be a musician. And from Elliott Smith too, because Elliott Smith did a song about Summer Sam. Mark Kozolak from Sun Kil Moon did a song about the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez. And I did a song about the Zodiac. Well, the Cole and Linda Filmmaker Band did, also known as the Linda and Cole Band. But I did one too. But I remember thinking when Bowie said, I don't really consider myself a musician. I consider myself a visual artist. And when Elliott Smith said that he thought about the music as in shapes. So his chords in his mind were shapes, like geometry. And he was putting together puzzles, because Elliott Smith is one of our most talented guitarist and lyricist. Probably one of our best lyricists of our century was Elliott Smith. I'm surprised Richard Beato has not covered more of Elliott Smith, which is kind of, can't interview him, so he did cover Billy Corgan, but I like this intro. So that's how the intro goes. Now, I thought, well, what can I do in the song to continue that shape of the Zodiac? So I did this, starting in the center. And that minor that goes here, the minor chord, is dissonance. So listen. Going into dissonance. is it creepy? Now, eventually I want to strum. Okay, I want to strum for the lyrics, which is nobody knows who you are. Another, probably in parentheses, title of the song, nobody knows who you are, or the Zodiac. Dissonance. So we have it starting. The chorus. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows who you are. Now, you know I'm taking another one. The Police, Sting, yeah, I am taking from Sting too. Sting says if you don't get his attention and surprise in a song at the beginning, he doesn't listen to it. I think this one would surprise him. Of course, using the higher lyrics, kind of imitating Sting from the Police. Yes, and he also writing, Roxanne, and another great one too, which also kind of gets into the whole killer thing, Every Breath That You Take, which is about an obsessed stalker. You know, he wrote this from the point of view of Sting and the Police, which is also a theme. We're the filmmaker band, so media is kind of involved. And so the chorus. Nobody knows who you are. And kind of getting that feel of Roxanne, Roxanne, it would be very high there on the falsetto. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows who you are. I can get there eventually. Now, we got to the chorus. We know we're also going to be kind of, think of demonic dissonance, kind of, nobody knows who you are. 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 Also bringing in Robert Smith from The Cure, very whispery. Think of Lullaby in The Cure. I'm kind of like the Quentin Tarantino guitar writer, where I'm taking from all these different. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows who you are. And you can have the black chicks coming in. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows who you are. Yeah, I said nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows who you are. Very easy to play. Now, elongation going into what's called the bridge. Some call the hook. Some people get the bridge and the hook mixed up. If you think it's the bridge, if you think it's the hook, let me know. But we have an extension on it, so I want you to listen to the whole thing when you go into the bridge. So nobody knows, nobody knows, nobody knows who you are. Going in the bridge. Now, another song that's heavily inspired by this one, Needle in the Hay. Anybody would say, yeah, Needle in the Hay. Elliott Smith too. Don't know Needle in the Hay, never played it, but I would love to learn it someday. I know a lot of Elliott Smith, but not Needle in the Hay, but definitely in the same kind of Needle in the Hay thing. And Pit Salah. I have done a cover of Pit Salah for Bandcamp, but it's very different. The other Pit Salah that Lyndon and I did is more true to the Elliott Smith version, but I did a real wild version of Pit Salah that was very quick. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, Now we're gonna get to the lyrics. Now, the lyrics can, according on the live performance of it, can vary, but we'll always take from the Wikipedia post. So if we were to do a concert in front of thousands and thousands of people, we would definitely take from that current Wikipedia post at that moment. So the song has an improv element. And it would sound, which I had to stress this with Linda because she likes to get very melodic and sing-songy and everything. And that's great. But I told Linda, I said, on this particular song, we're going to report it almost like journalists in a way. So when it goes into the picking, so we would go into, and the words could be written in the back, the cyclorama behind us. I see nothing but words and the symbol of the zodiac just going all the way around us, maybe in, like kind of some kind of zodiac costume or something, I don't know. Some kind of, love the movie, the Fincher movie with Robert Downey Jr. and Jake Gyllenhaal, which I've been on set with Jake Gyllenhaal. He's a pretty good actor. But he's really good in that. It was really good. But the whole aspect, we wouldn't dress up like Robert Downey Jr. The reporters, but we could. We have like ties on, like we're the reporters. So, and then there could be a moment where, Zodiac comes out in the performance and real creepy kind of, it's supposed to sound creepy, so. And I'll show you the picking here. It's very simple here. Hear it? And the same as the strumming. The extension, which is like the hook or the bridge, and that. You can hear the creepiness yet. So we're going to start with the lyrics. And the first part is the first paragraph of the Wikipedia. The Zodiac Killer is a pseudonym of an unidentified serial killer. Unidentified is a hard word. So I'd have to practice this over and over. And sometimes they do updates on this. So. And if I wanted to go without the picking, same motion. The Zodiac Killer is a pseudonym of an unidentified serial killer who appeared in Northern California in the late 1960s. The case is one of the most famous unsolved murder cases in American history. It became a fixture of popular culture, inspired amateur detectives to attempt to solve it. The Zodiac murdered 5 known victims in San Francisco Bay Area between the dates of December 1968, October 1969, operating in rural, urban, and suburban settings. He targeted young couples and lone male cab driver. His known attacks took place in Benicia, Vallejo, on an unincorporated Napa County and the city of San Francisco proper. Zodiac coined the name, a series of taunted letters and cards that mailed to regions that were not printed, and some letters included cryptograms and ciphers, in which the killer had 4 ciphers, and he produced them. 2 remained unsolved, and one was cracked in 2020. He suggested that only the suspects and authorities are ever publicly named as Arthur Leigh Allen back in 1992. Although the Zodiac ceased written communications around 1974, years back in San Francisco, the police department marked the case inactive in April 2004. It remains open in the city of Vallejo, as well as Napa and Solano counties. Forgive the pronunciation. In California, murders, this went on since 1969, and nobody knows who you are. Jumped into that, what to say. So you get the idea of the song. Anyway, we go on, and then we would, get into the whole feeling, the segment of nobody, sorry, Linda's asleep, knows who you are. Oh no, nobody. It can get him a little reggae, maybe a little bit, but not too much. I don't want to get too much. I don't want to sound exactly like Sting and the Police, but because that's bad too. Although the Zodiac claimed in letters to newspapers he has committed 37 murders, investigators agreed on 7 confirmed assaults, 5 whom died and 2 survived. The survivors are David Arthur Faraday, 17, Betty Lou Jensen at 16, shot and killed on December 20th of 1968, and Lake Hermod Road within the city limits of Benicia. Michael Arnold Mago, 19, and Darlene Elizabeth Farron, 22, shot on July 4th of 1969 in the parking lot of Blue Rock Springs Park in Vallejo. Mago survived the attack, and Farron was pronounced dead, arrival of Kaiser Foundation Hospital. Now, Brian Calvin Hartnell, 20, and Cecilia Ann Shepard, 22, stabbed on September 27th, 1969 at Lake Parisier in Napa County. Hartnell survived, but Shepard died as a result of the injuries a couple of days later. Now, Paul Lee Stein, 29, shot and killed on October 11th, 1969 in President Heights neighborhood in San Francisco. The first murders, widely attributed to the Zodiac Killer, were the shootings of a high school students, Betty Lou Jensen and David Arthur Faraday. That was in 1968. Blue Rock murders were back in 1969. The first letter of the Zodiac was August 1969, 3 letters. The killer sent these letters to Vallejo Times-Herald and the San Francisco Chronicle and the San Francisco Examiner. The nearly identical letters subsequently described by the psychiatrist have been written by someone you'd expect to be brooding and isolated, took credit for the shootings at Lake Herman Road and Blue Rock Springs. Each letter also included 1/3 of a 408 symbol cryptogram, which a killer claimed contained his identity. The killer demanded they be printed on each paper's front page, or he would cruise around killing lone people in the night and then move on to kill again until I end up with 12 people over the weekend. 12 people. Chronicle published its 3rd cryptogram on page 4 the next today. Police Chief Jack E. still sane. We're not satisfied that the letter was written by the murderer. On August 1969, the San Francisco Examiner received a letter. It was on the 7th. Dear editor, this is the Zodiac speaking. Now, author Soren Rost Korsgaard explained the episode paragraph in this letter referencing Alfred Hitchcock Presents, episode Museum Piers. On August 8th, 1969, Donald and Bette Hardin of Salinas, California, cracked the 408 symbol cryptogram. This was like a couple. It contained a misspelled message in which the killer seemed to reference the most dangerous game. The author also said that he was collecting slaves. He had a slave collection. Never found them. They never found them. Anyway, that's 22 minutes of it. Could be like a 30-minute song, who knows? No, it wouldn't be that long. Anyway.